how would I run a Star Trek campaign? So my I so how would I run a Star Trek campaign? I really enjoy the aspect of D&D that starts at the bottom and works up to something. I think that's very narratively satisfying for characters. It's satisfying. I think the gameplay, it's fun to see that evolve and the characters. So I always start my campaigns at level 1. Um, I'll jump fairly aggressively early on, but I like to still start. Experience points can be fun to track in a bookkeeping sort of way, but I like when groups level up after some big in-game achievement. So I start players at level 1 in solo prologue sessions. After that first session, they're level 2. Once the group is playing together, I try to find milestones roughly after the same number of sessions as the level up. So 3 more sessions, they're level 3. 4 more, level 4, and so on. And so when I think of Star Trek, what is the Star Trek equivalent to that? And it's like, geez, I don't know. Maybe it's is it a disgraced or an abandoned crew? Maybe it's there was a mutiny on board, and the players basically are abandoned in a town far out at the edge of like the known, like definitely outside of like enterprise reach and coverage or whatever. They're basically isolated. They've lost their ship, and they kind of have to start from scratch, and maybe even start on a ship that's not theirs. Maybe their best in is to actually sort of be criminals or bounty hunters, or at least to pretend to be, so that they can at least get access to a ship to get the heck out of that system. Maybe it's only level 4 or 5 where they actually get a chance to speak back to get. I'm using a lot of the wrong words because I'm not steeped in like Star Trek stuff, but to be able to get in touch with anybody official and sort of try to regain their standing. So would they be the bridge crew? I mean, I would have to figure some of that stuff out. I'm not super well versed. Like, I think I just said Enterprise rather than like the Federation. If I was to run something like that and I wanted it to fit, I would have to start by watching a lot, basically all of the Star Trek. I'd have to do that. Unless I did that, I wouldn't feel like I would have the right context for running in that world. It's part of the reason I'm a lot more comfortable running in my custom worlds, because you know, I know 100% of the things that are true there. Oh, sure. Like it would be, I mean, isn't it a lot more exciting if, what's the adventure that could be had, and how could a crew that has no right being the crew, how could they earn their stripes, so to speak? Ooh, maybe it's even like that even gives you the opportunity for one of the people that joins them, or purports to be from the ship, one of the players. You could have like an arrangement with them, and they're actually a pirate, but they get kind of taken by the group, and they decide, actually at the end of the day, I'm going to impersonate. So then you have a fun twist at the end of like, okay, we're back to the Federation. They're getting everybody on board. They're like, who good? And then they're like, wait, who's that? And they're like, what do you mean? They were they were in, I think they said, engineering. They were like, we don't know who that is. That person's never been on a ship that that we're responsible for. And then it's like, do they throw them off, or do they treat them like one of their own? Do they trust them? Like that could be kind of fun. Yeah, red shirts. I at least have that level of like cultural Star Trek awareness. I just would. There would be too many things that I could screw up, and too many opportunities I would miss by not sort of becoming, you know, just deciding to sort of become a nerd of that fandom. Like that's what I would do if I was going to make, something in that world. It would feel weird otherwise. Tan. So many brown colors.